You know, we're pretty lucky. The economy's about to crash, yeah, and there's all kinds of nastiness like in New World Order and the oil rig blowing up, and but we have a lot of good stuff going on. And for example, we have the ability to access knowledge from like YouTube and other video sharing services that allow us to gain just insane amounts of knowledge on whatever we want. And I'm not just talking video. We've got documents, internet websites and blogs, and we have the ability to ask questions of experts. For example, even I, as a diesel mechanic, Cummins diesel mechanic, when people have questions about that, I can answer, and it's just a tremendous amount of power, and it's to quote a 60s reference, it's power to the people. And because it takes power, the people's power, away from government and big business and the tax system, and it gives it back to us, the people it belongs to anyway. And here's the example. I was just about to tear my shower out, and I realized that I mean, I was using knowledge that I had gained on YouTube because I was curious about, I had a general idea, but I was curious about how to do it right, and I saw plumbers and people doing it, and for example, this little tool right here, I didn't even know I needed one until I saw a YouTube video about it, but so it's like we have the ability to learn so much. It's nothing short of revolutionary. Our lives have so much more power, so much more ability to learn and research the things that we really want to know. Before, like when I was growing up, like even all the way up till I was like 27 or 28 or 30, all we had was like the library and the bookstores. We could order books and whatnot, but the ability to ask other people questions just was pretty limited. In fact, when I first went on the internet, it wasn't even internet. It was like local BBS services, and then the BBS services started combining and sharing messages between them in like NWNet and C-Link and groups, things where one computer would call another and transfer all the messages, and then they'd all call some hub so that they didn't have to spend long distance charges with the modem, but and then they had these big networks, and eventually the internet sort of took over. And but when I first started, those services were pretty limited because mostly just computer geeks were on them, and what they knew was computers, and that's about it. But these days, normal people are on, and they know just about everything humanity can possibly know is shared by people on the internet. So, I was just about to tear the thing apart without documenting it. In fact, I already made a start. But what I'm going to do is finally upgrade this shower thing that I have. Basically, that's the coolest thing about this condo, and one of the reasons I bought this place is because it has 2 bathrooms. I have a bathroom and a spare. If one breaks, which it has from time to time, I've got a second one. So basically, I don't have to fear remodeling and tearing this thing apart because I have the ability to, have another one. So first thing I'm going to do, what I want to do is get rid of this bathtub because it's beat up, and there's a couple of places with missing enamel, and in fact 3 times throughout the 11 years I've lived here, these tiles here have sprung a leak or gotten cracks and stuff, and I would end up having to tear it all apart. And I had a bitch of a time trying to find this same tile here. I had to pretend I was a contractor to sneak into this place that sells all these tiles because they didn't sell to the public, and I had to like do some kind of secret agent thing to get these freaking tiles. And then I redid it, and it was okay for 6 years or so, but now I'm finally just tired of it. I want to put in a nice bathtub with a nice big fiberglass surround with a good place for soaps, and I can get rid of that stupid thing. And basically, it's going to be really nice. It's a standard sized tub, so I have a lot of different models. Even the big box store has 2 showers things that would fit this, but I actually want to get something a little better, so there's a few specialty stores. But the first thing I'm going to do is demolition. So in order to get a bathtub out, you have to tear the wall out, because the bathtub has a little lip underneath this wall to catch any water that leaks from between the tiles, and then it comes out on the floor. You know, if anybody's ever seen like water coming out in the corner, that's an indication that your tile's leaking. It's catching in the lip, and then it runs around and then out onto the floor, right? So anyway, what I want to do is just tear this old-fashioned bullshit out, and then put a good surround and a good modern bathtub in. And the cool thing is I don't need to redo my plumbing. I'll just take the little spigot off and the handle and the backing plate, and then I can just tear that whole wall out. In order to get the tub out, you can actually just pound it to death with a hammer, and since it's cast iron, it'll just shatter. But in order to get a new one in, I'm going to have this sink here out of the way. So this is a perfect excuse to replace this sink unit. I want one with an entire surface. The entire surface of the sink will be, you know, the sink. You know, if water is anywhere, it'll end up going down the drain. I replaced this sink about 5 or 6 years ago, and it's working pretty well, but I want something a little more updated and nicer. So, and plus it'll increase the value of the place when I sell this. Eventually, I'm going to be able to buy my own house, and if I do this, I'll be able to have a little more cash out of the job. And the cool thing about YouTube is, YouTube and other places like that, we don't need to get a plumber in. I mean, it's basically nuts and bolts, so I'm just going to tear this bastard apart and basically replace it, and I don't think I'll need a contractor at all. So that saves a lot of money, and it takes a lot of money out of the government's grabby tax hands, and it returns it to my pocket. So I will keep you guys posted on my progress. Later.